Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture.
It's Friday, and this is the news.
So, to lead us off, Adam Wilborn, you're never going to guess what?
What?
Nia Jax has injured somebody.
What? This
Whoa.
never happens, except... Yeah, it does.
Now, this person obviously isn't particularly badly hurt as they were wrestling 2 nights later on SmackDown, but R-Truth, the man that she beat up to take the Royal Rumble spot, apparently he got pretty messed up.
It did look pretty brutal when she attacked him.
Yeah, so this is according to a report from Raja.com. Truth hurt his face and his ankle.
So she injured him twice?
She injured him twice. Nia bludgeoned him up, threw him into a wall, blah, 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 beat him up. Apparently, he was so annoyed, he was so angry that officials had to hold him backstage. Now, Jerry Lawler on his podcast has corroborated this and said it is indeed true. He's the one, in fact, who said that Truth had to be held back. And I'll just read his quote here. The heat was real. She blasted poor R-Truth and knocked him on his face into that wall. He was hot for real. So,
before you get into that, just when you say about blasting him into the wall, that's not a stretch because, you know, I think they did a spot in the Rumble. I think someone, was it Nigel? Someone, maybe Becky, punched one of the posts and it like broke and did all the, you know, the usual thing they do. R-Truth got thrown into that thing and legitimately broke it. You could see that it wasn't working anymore. That wasn't a bit of camera trickery or anything like that. She threw him so hard she wrecked a wall.
Poor guy took one hell of a beating. So I'm just going to run through some of Nia's prior incidents here because they're really stacking up. So we've got, could you count this with your fingers,
count
please?
Along, yes.
So we've got this incident. We've got the Becky Lynch incident before Survivor Series. We've got the situation where Ember Moon's husband called Nia an unsafe moron for injuring his wife. That's free. There was a time she didn't catch Charlotte on a moonsault to the outside. Charlotte landed on her face. There was a time she spiked Charlotte's head into her knee with a shoulder breaker. There was the time Bayley missed SummerSlam 2017 because Nia ruined her shoulder. There was another time when she hit Bayley with an elbow drop on the back of her head while she was sitting up. There was the time she messed Asuka up with a backbreaker. There was the time she concussed Zelina Vega by throwing her around. And there was the time she busted Tamina's nose on a bump. That is Ty Dillinger. So, often when we talk about Nia Jax injuring other wrestlers, what do the comment sections say?
What about Seth Rollins?
So, in light of that, I have done some actual journalism here, Adam Wilborn. So the 3 Seth Rollins incidents obviously are the Sting, the John Cena, and the Finn Balor. By the way, Sting and Finn Balor have both said that wasn't his fault, don't blame him, but we'll take those 3 incidents, right? 3 major incidents in 1,069 WWE matches.
Wow, nice as well, by the way.
That is an average of 1 incident every 356 matches.
Right.
Nia Jax.
I dread to think what this is going to be.
395 matches.
What?
What we know, 10 incidents that we know of. 39.5. Every 39 and a half matches she injures somebody. So, she is statistically 9 times more dangerous than Seth Rollins. Send her back to developmental. This is
9
this
times.
Is something
People
else.
say we have a go, but the facts don't lie.
Facts. You know what to do with this, don't
I think, you know, this should be added to the collection. Go on, pop it in.
There we go.
There we go. In it goes.
In it goes.
Another one for that growing buck.
Oh, she's just really unsafe.
Yeah. Just send her back to developmental.
Yeah.
That's all
but
we're
there's
asking.
no shame in that.
We're not saying that she shouldn't wrestle anymore, or she just needs to be retaught some of the basics, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
she's a great worker when...
You can't be hurting people.
No,
That's
exactly.
all there is.
Right, let's move on now to another breaking story surrounding SAnitY. As you may have guessed, SAnitY aren't best pleased with the way that they have been booked, or not booked for the majority of the time since their call up to SmackDown. Killian Dane tweeted the other day, #where is SAnitY? I think that was during SmackDown Live.
Yes.
And Alexander Wolf replied, sick of this.
Sick of this.
Sick of this. So, yeah, it does look like SAnitY aren't best pleased with the way that they are being pushed.
Yeah, well, very good word there. Yeah, I mean, who can blame them?
No.
I looked up their match records just before we came on air, and it turns out that between them, they've wrestled something like 2 or 3 matches since September on TV.
We got so excited. I still remember myself and Adam Cleary were watching the one where they do the Superstar Shake-Up, and SAnitY, it was announced they were coming up. They weren't there. They had a promo video played or whatever, and then they were coming, and then they were coming, and then they were still coming. Then there was some issues with copyright or something like that.
Yeah.
And that sort of delayed it, which probably didn't help them in the eyes of Vince. But then even since then, they arrived and then sort of lost and didn't really do anything. And then people saying, well, maybe Nikki Cross will come in and they'll have a resurgence. And now she's just getting pushed on her own.
It's kind of it is a shame for them because they're three talented guys, and they've just been kind of hung out to dry. You know, it's very telling that on SmackDown this week they had this #1 contenders match for the tag team championships, and instead of putting SAnitY in there, they put Heavy Machinery, who aren't even affiliated to a brand and have just arrived, along with the Usos, the Bar, and another team that I cannot remember. Very professional, but yeah, it's just kind of weird that they've come up and they haven't done anything. New Day, the best tag team like in the world.
Yeah, it's a real shame for them. Hopefully WWE with all this ongoing stuff and talk about them finally giving pushes to people who are unhappy with their position. Maybe this is just a thing from them saying, give us a bit of a push.
Yeah, or we're going to AEW. Cool. Speaking of someone who's been absent from TV since the McMahon family, for some reason, removed her from her general manager role on SmackDown, even though she was doing a really good job. Bit weird, Paige. We haven't really seen nor heard much from her since. She has given a new interview with Sky Sports here in the UK, saying that she is looking to take on a new manager's role in WWE because she really loves talking. And in her words, she doesn't know if she's good at it. I think she is. But she just likes doing it. She really loves the company. She just wants a new role, basically. So kind of similar to the SAnitY thing, except she's doing things the right way and not just being a fanny on social media.
There's a slight explanation in terms of the fact that she could have arguably been sent away to go off and promote Fighting With My Family, but now that's kind of done and out there, and The Rock's on the poster, and The Rock's producing it, and The Rock's
promos in the bloody trailer.
Yeah, it's not about The Rock, it's about Paige. But anyway, I'd love to see her back in any form. She was obviously a brilliant general manager on SmackDown, and she just sort of lost the role because of the terrible state of Monday Night Raw. But any sort of manager role, I think she would absolutely excel in, and I'm happy to see her back on WWE TV as soon as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, Absolution was a nice little stable. Obviously, Mandy...
You mean the sorority sisters?
Hey, okay. Obviously, Mandy and Sonya are still together, but yeah, it'd be good to see her back.
Absolutely. Final news story of today concerns the Women's Royal Rumble. Dave Meltzer has reported that apparently there was some serious timing issues with the Women's Royal Rumble. As a result, some people missed some of their spots. The timing was all over the shop. People had to be taken out of the match in not the sort of correct order. And it really went long. I think it was 72 minutes to the men's 57.
Yeah. Like, the interesting thing about this is that apparently the men had to rush all the ring entrances because that one ran over a little bit. You saw like some of the ring entrances in the women's did stretch on a little bit longer, and apparently a lot of this is to do with the size of the ramp, which is probably something WWE should have thought about before. I mean, it looked great. I mean, it's just a shame. It was a massive pay-per-view, like 7 hours if you watched the pre-show. Crazy length of time. But I guess, like, these things, semantics really, isn't it? We got the winner we wanted. The match was all right. Cool. Yeah,
fine. Well, let's move on to today's Twitter questions. Don't forget you can tweet them at us at WhatCulture WWE. Joseph Bailey asks, if Balor makes the move to SmackDown, who does he enter into a program with first?
Really good question. Daniel Bryan, not just because it would be a great match, but because Finn Balor, you know, at WrestleMania, he had the LGBTQ t-shirt, and he obviously stands for progressiveness and good values and stuff. Daniel Bryan claims to do the same thing, and he does, but does so in a really condescending way, hence why he's such an effective heel, because he's such a pain in the arse. That would be such a good clash, because Balor is the guy who Daniel Bryan thinks he is, and I just think it'd be a really, really good match.
I love the fact that we've been asked this question, and any normal person would say, well, first feud to this, then build to this, then build to this. You and I have just gone straight in at the top floor.
Yeah.
You have gone for Daniel Bryan. I am going for Samoa Joe.
Oh, imagine.
And I don't want to have to bury Samoa Joe, but we all know the greatness that they did in NXT and the way Samoa Joe is at the moment, he'd elevate Finn Balor, despite the fact Balor was in a Universal Championship match. We saw what he can do. He had some great spots in the Rumble, but he cut that unbelievable promo on SmackDown Live. Get him in there, get those two fighting. You barely have to do any promo, to be honest, with Balor. You just go, it's going to be Joe and Balor.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Have Joe beat him up and then lose in the end, because that's what Joe does.
Yeah, exactly. Right, let's move on to another question from Larry Lucas, who says, do any of you think that WWE will ever induct William Regal into the Hall of Fame?
Yes, absolutely, 100%, without question. I think they would have done it on the strength of his in-ring career alone, because, I mean, if you're going to induct guys like Coco Beware, then you've got to induct guys like Regal on the strength. But he's backstage now, he's in the Performance Center, he's a talent scout, he's a coach, he's this, he's that. He is go-between for the UK project. He is very, very important to that company, and I think it's only a matter of time. One of my favourite wrestlers of all time as well.
Yeah, he's absolutely phenomenal, whether he's on commentary or doing promos or doing anything. I absolutely
He's
love
a great
him.
general manager as well. Never gets involved unless he needs to.
No, exactly. They're going to be announcing some Hall of Fame people soon. Who do you reckon is going to be on that list? Gangrel
and Tugboat.
Very good.
Yep.
I've got a feeling Dynamite Kid might be getting reference possibly.
Yeah.
A lot of crowd support for that, it seems. Yeah. Finally, Andrew Hartley says, do you think anyone from the TNA roster would do well in WWE or AEW?
Oh man.
Good question.
Phoenix? Phoenix and Pentagon would do extremely well in NXT and AEW. I'm not so sure about the main roster. As far as other guys go, I really like the Rascals, young tag team that are coming through there. Desmond Xavier, Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel.
Saw a really good promo that they did, where they were filmed sat around a table, I think it was.
They're tremendous.
Fantastic.
And LAX, one of the best tag teams in the world, would again do really well in AEW or NXT. But the main roster, I don't know if they have that many sports entertainment-y guys. Maybe a guy like Johnny Impact.
Yeah, Johnny. I'd love to see a return for the former John Morrison in WWE. I always think he wasn't utilised to the best of his abilities, and as we've seen many a time with the likes of Drew McIntyre and the list goes on and on, the amount of people who start in WWE, go away, come back and are far improved. I'd love to see him in there. And another one I thought of is Eli Drake, because Eli Drake may not necessarily be the best in the ring out of everyone in TNA, but he's certainly a personality, and I think if you're thinking of sports entertainment for WWE, he is your guy.
What about Brian Cage? You reckon he's passing that old,
I think there might be some issues with him joining WWE, and that's all I'm going to say, because he could probably snap me like a twig.
I think it's his hair. His hair's the problem.
Yes, that's exactly what the issue is. Right, let's move on to today's And Finally.
Like mine.
And today's And Finally is a little joke I've discovered thanks to Reddit Squared Circle. Now, of course, we all know that Eric Rowan, or as he's now known, Rowan, is the big heavy for Daniel Bryan, sort of akin to Kevin Nash was with HBK, if you remember. So if that is the case, and we all know what Kevin Nash was to Shawn Michaels, does that make Rowan biodiesel?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Nah, I'm off, mate. I'm off.
Let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comments section below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out our new wrestling podcast by searching for What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes or Spotify. An interview with DDP coming very soon on there. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.
Get in the bin.
Biodiesel.